Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to a Chart Nerd Technical Analysis video. Today we will be discussing VELO. The ticker is VELO against the USDT on the monthly time frame. I'm also going to zoom into the weekly and the daily to do some coverage. Now, I do apologize for not getting any content out over the past day or two. I've got a severely, really bad tooth infection in my wisdom tooth, and I've been on some really strong painkillers. So at the moment, I feel all right, to be fair. But how long that lasts, we will see. So diving into VELO here on the monthly, we do have some potential targets that are still in play, and we're seeing some really positive signs here on the macro time frame. So I've been discussing this huge Adam and Eve / ascending triangle that we've been building up of. We broke out of resistance here in April. We ran up to our local high at 0.028, and right now all we've done is broken out from this Adam and Eve pattern and come back to this red zone here, this key level of support around the 0.009 area, looking for a backtest on this previous resistance to confirm it as support before continuation up to levels of resistance above and this potential Adam and Eve breakout target. So these are my targets for VELO in the near short to mid term, potentially starting to run up to 0.044, and then we also have resistance above, which is our Adam and Eve breakout target, which sits at the 0.618 at 10 cents. Now, as I'm saying, bear in mind, we are showing really positive signs here on the monthly, holding this key level of previous resistance as support, looking for continuation. We do have the monthly 20 EMA that ties up with this 0.50 at 0.044 on retracement back to this all-time high from our all-time low. So we have key resistance above on the macro to look for, but I think we're trying to work our way up to this 0.5 and equally this 10-cent range, which is the breakout target of this Adam and Eve pattern. Now within this, we are going to see choppiness. I'm not saying this is going to happen overnight or in the space of a week. I think this is something that will gradually build up over time, and right now we're just coming into these 0.007 lows and building a base, looking for a breakout to try and reach up to higher targets. So let's zoom into the weekly and look at the weekly 20 EMA and see what sort of price that is at, because I think having a weekly close above the 20 EMA would be a very bullish statement. So having a little look at the weekly time frame, what you'll notice is that as of recent, we did pump up to this 0.028 high, and we have had this correction back down to 0.007. As of such, what happened is we've retraced and lost both of our EMAs. So we was above, when we was here in May, we was above our 55 and our 20 EMA, looking to create a weekly bullish cross, but we got rejected and essentially lost these EMAs as support. And right now we've ran up into the 20 as resistant as of such over the last few weeks, pulled back for a higher low, and are now going for the breakout, trying to reverse this downtrend. So what we need to see this week, if we can see a bullish candle close where VELO closes out above its 55 and above its weekly 20, I think we're showing really good strength here for continuation in retracement back to these local highs that we're retracing from. So what I've been looking at is potentially some sort of double bottom here where we have this level of resistance which we're currently breaking out of, which sits at 0.011. You can see it was resistance back here in April. We then broke out to this 28 cents. We lost this previous resistance and we was looking to hold a support. We confirmed it again as resistance in June, put in this low in July, ran back into the resistance once more, came back for a higher level of support, and have now broken out of this 0.011 range. So the fact that we've broken out of this key level of resistance is a very good sign. And as I'm saying, we potentially do have this double bottom here where we've coiled up and created this higher level of ascending support, and we're breaking out. So the double bottom target on the weekly here, on the daily it's a bit more clear. I will zoom in and get some ranges on, but the double bottom breakout target for us right now sits at 0.018, and that's not including wick and going to wick lows, because I've got a target up to 20, I believe it is. But to be conservative, I want to look for the 0.018 range, and this is an interesting level to look out for as well, because going from our recent 0.007 lows back up to our 0.28 high, what you'll notice is right now we're coming up to 0.014 which is the 0.5 fib from this low retracing back to this high. So I am expecting resistance around this area. So the 0.0014 and the 0.016 range. So 0.014 to 0.016. I think VELO will meet resistance at either one of these two fibs, come back for another higher low, and then look to go for the breakout once more. Now, why do I think that is potentially the case? Well, as I've said, we've got the breakout target, which sits at the double bottom breakout, which sits at 0.018, which is just a little bit higher and overextending from this 0.618. So that could come into play. Equally, if we look at the daily time frame, what you'll notice on the daily is that we had this previous level of resistance that needed to be broken for VELO to see continuation, and that sat at around 0.012. So the 0.011/2/3, you'll notice for the last sort of few weeks since June has been a very strong level of resistance, and right now we are breaking out of this range. So we've got this double bottom that we've created down here for ourselves. We were caught between a rock and a hard place. We've coiled up, broken back above our EMAs. We're about to form a bullish cross right here. So where this yellow 20 crosses over this 55, this is called a bull cross, and it's a very good statement. It's a very bullish statement. So I'll show you the opposite very quickly. When you're coming from a high and you're starting to retrace back down, you enter something called a death cross. Now, when you lose the EMAs and hit your heads on the death cross, it indicates a downtrend. When you create a bull cross and drag above these EMAs and create a cross and pull back to them for support, this confirms an uptrend. So what we need to see right now, what I think is happening, is we are forming this bullish cross right here between the EMAs. We're in some sort of double bottom pattern underneath this level of resistance at 0.012 between 0.012 as resistance and 0.007, which is our local lows as support. We've come in this double bottom range. We're breaking out right now with strength. If we can see continuation here, as I said, we do have resistance above at 0.014. Okay, so this is where I think VELO right now is trying to get to. If we can get to this target and have a pullback from this range into this bullish cross, as this bullish cross is forming, backtest the bullish cross of support, I think we're good for continuation. So let's clear this up a little bit here. What I'm looking for is the bullish cross to form here for VELO, continue pumping up to the 0.014 range or 16 on our 0.50 or 0.6 fib retracement levels, back to this 0.028 high, come back for a retest on this 0.012 range, and then look for continuation up to higher highs. So as I've said as well, our breakout target from this double bottom pattern sits at 0.02. So we are in a technical target up to 0.02, albeit said that we can confirm a close above these resistance points that we've been under since June of 24. So we are in this huge double bottom pattern. We're looking to form this bullish cross. Right now we're getting the breakout where the EMAs are dragging the price up. Once you start to get a bit extended from these EMAs, this is where I expect a pullback. So right now you can see we are shooting away from the EMAs. When you do get extended and start breaking out of resistance, create the bullish signal, pull back to the signal for support, and look for continuation of the trend. That is the plan. So right now my key takeaway from this video and for us is that on the macro, we're extremely bullish in our Adam and Eve pattern that I showed at the start of the video. Looking at the daily, we are in this double bottom pattern that looks to be breaking out. We have a target that sits at 0.020. To get there first, we have important levels of resistance to break above, i.e. this 0.50 and 0.618 between 0.014 and 0.016. If we start getting above those, fantastic. But right now, what I think would be really healthy is to either run up into one of these levels as resistance and pull back to our forming cross as support on previous resistance, look to confirm it as support in the 12 range, and then go for continuation. So that is my overall thoughts right now. I'll continue this pump into resistance, pull back to this bullish cross as it forms on previous resistance that we're currently breaking out of, and then go for the further continuation, retracing back to our local highs. That right now is the play for me. The bearish scenario here is if we create this bullish cross run up into resistance, but fail to hold the cross as support. If we start retracing back into this sort of range zone that we're recently breaking out of, if we just falsely have a fake out here and start retracing back, then i.e. this would entangle potentially coming back for a triple bottom here on this sort of support zone somewhere else down the line, and we could just be deviating out of this range looking to pull back into it. But right now, so far so good. We go with what we're seeing in the charts. We look like we're about to form this bullish cross, run up to our target and resistance at 0.014/16, get a nice pullback onto previous resistance, confirm it as support, look for continuation of the trend, running up to our 0.002 targets, and finally retracing back to this 0.028, which we've been falling from. So I hope you enjoyed the content today, guys. From Chart Nerd TA, take care, peace out.